Welcome back to the Panda Global Rankings V3 Series Reveal, featuring the top of the cut for Smash Bros. For the Wii U. We're coming up on the midpoint of the top 50, today featuring 21 through 30. Once more, our methods and the FAQ on how the PGR came to be are linked in the description below. This has been your host, Suar, and on behalf of PGstats and Panda Global, it's once again an honor to be able to present to you these rankings. Highlighting the highest of highs, we continue our journey to the top 10. The PGR V3 has largely been a celebration of the most esteemed competitors of Smash Bros. And in continuing with the honors, D1 will now guide you through the 10 fighters you ought to be familiar with.
Greetings and welcome to the PGR Reveal Part 3. Cutting right to the chase, we are going to begin 30 to 21 with one of the season's biggest surprises. Starting out at 30th, Tri-State's Marth Extraordinaire, Mr.e stands tall in the top 50. Team Rival Zone joins us a couple rungs lower on the ladder this season, holding key set victories over Fatality and Captain Zack. This Marth main has been making adjustments all season by way of trying out the different kits provided by Lucina and Cloud. For Mr.e, the way of the sword is the only way for him. In terms of placements, Mr.e finished top 32 at both Civil War and CEO. At Nairo Saga, he fell short of top 32 but still made an impression late in the season when many were starting to count him out. In this meta, holding a set count of 6 to 21 over the PGR does little to tell the story of the resilience needed to stay afloat in brackets with regional hidden bosses and other challenges found in pools at majors. Peaking elsewhere with the 7th at Smash and Splash 3, 9th at Frostbite 2017, and Genesis Saga, Mr.e maintains his place in the higher levels of the Marth metagame as one of the few who still stand by the Hero King. An X factor of -1 calls to mind how appropriate the middle of the top 50 is for Mr.e as he makes the proper adjustments for Season 4 and positions himself for continued success. At 29th, many have learned the hard way, but counting out MVD is nothing short of irresponsible. Representing Panda Global on the front lines, MVD is a seasoned veteran of Smash Bros. And has traveled to the far reaches of the globe to demonstrate his skill. The Barrel Technician returns for 3 consecutive seasons as a PGR member. MVD has accumulated wins across the country and abroad with peaks such as 9th at CEO 2017, 17th at Genesis 4, and 33rd at Civil War. In terms of A-tier events, MVD secured 7th at Smash and Splash 3, 9th at DreamHack Austin, and 7th at Genesis Saga. MVD has had the uncanny ability to clutch out sets with seemingly impossible finishers that always end with the commentators and crowd alike in total shock. However, this talent sometimes backfires as MVD has been on the receiving end of some of the most unruly of set closers. Beating out Abadango, Anti, and Mr.e in tournament this season poses a valuable achievement that sets him apart from other competitors. MVD also teams with fellow PG member ESAM, gathering a sizable amount of victories in double-side events at majors far and wide. This summer will feature many more MVD appearances, and with the stakes set high for Summer Smash, it would be impossible to imagine a season without him. Reports of Fallen's greatness have been greatly underappreciated, but make no mistake, he is a global threat in his own right. Now on his 3rd PGR appearance, Southern California's resident Rosalina is better than ever at number 28. Fallen's Rosalina is the result of constant labbing, refined, confident, and relentless. He efficiently uses his Luma puppet as a hyper-aggressive extension of himself, forcing opponents into unfavorable conditions. All those who face him are often left struggling as a result. Despite having a relatively small tournament attendance compared to the rest of the list, Fallen's consistently high placings more than compensate for it. He has yet to finish below 17th at a tournament outside of 65th at Genesis 4. He has also accumulated a solid amount of wins over the course of the year, which includes Locus and Zero. Contrary to his name, Fallen is constantly rising. Don't be surprised to see him top bill more events in the near future with the amount of work he puts into his craft. Pound for pound, celebrated Japanese Mega Man main Kameme has at his core the hunger to impress. At 27th, Kameme takes the glory home to Kanto, Japan. Detonation Gaming's Kameme burst into the scene after an unforeseeable second at EVO 2016, where he almost came close to defeating Cloud9's ally and taking the championship title. This season, however, Kameme has kept up a list of results while also stepping back from the spotlight. Kameme has defeated Abadango, Ally, MKLeo, and Komorikiri this season, this time with the added benefits of a chic secondary that has saved him in many a set. For Kameme, much of this season was punctuated by wins and losses at many Western events. He peaked with 17th at Nairo Saga, 25th at Genesis 4, 33rd at Civil War. Placements reserved only for top talent at events despite their distance from top 8. Elsewhere, Kameme took 5th at Momocon 2017, 7th at Omebura Japan Major, and 9th at Frostbite, where his famous victory over MK Leo took place. Kameme was one of the first top players to successfully implement item-based footstalling into his play successfully, often causing inescapable resets that result in a stock. In Japan, Kameme hovers around the top as a gatekeeper and settles in the top spots at events when he elects to compete. This summer, Kameme will continue to innovate as he takes the meta head-on in the most unconventional of ways. Few competitors can claim to have defined a character, yet Tsu is perhaps the reason why Lucario is considered relevant. Coming in at number 26, this Japan powerhouse makes his first PGR appearance thanks to his explosive international debut. Lucario is a character that requires utmost precision, especially given the Jackal Pokemon's low starting power that increases the more it is damaged. That being said, Tsu is in no short supply of this trait thanks to his mastery of the character's combo and movement options. The level of expertise he possesses over Lucario's toolset allows him to bring any opponent to their feet. Signs of a successful season for Tsu came in the form of domestic results, finishing in 7th and 4th at Sumo Battle 15 and Nico Nico Tokaigi 2017 respectively. His breakout performance, however, came in the most unlikely of circumstances. A legendary stateside debut at Frostbite, taking down titans like MK Leo, Salem, and Zero to finish 2nd, losing to the latter in a teeth-clenching grand final run-back. While he has since struggled to reach these heights again, a 4th place finish at the recent Super Regional Omebura 27, beating out Kameme and Earth, shows that we shouldn't count him out at all. If anything, the upcoming season will serve a chance for him to turn the tides like he has done in countless matches before. Halfway to the top, Elegant makes a debut as one of the scene's most coveted Luigi mains originating from SoCal. Tearing in at 25th, Elegant has had one of the most electrifying seasons for any PGR first-timer. Affiliated with one of the pioneers of Smash Tech discovery, Beefy Smash Dudes, Elegant has been traveling to events all over the country and leaving his mark all the while, securing 7th at Nairo Saga, 13th at Genesis 4, and 33rd at Civil War proved invaluable for Elegant's placement score as he ascended the ranks when many others struggled at S-tier events. Elegant has gone on to take 10 sets from the PGR Top 50 and has done so with a mastery of Luigi none have come close to demonstrating along with Mario and Game & Watch secondaries to supplement. Elegant was rated with an X factor of precisely -1, meaning that the panelists could not agree more that Elegant is midway between the top of the PGR and its chaotic bottom half. With the 2GG circuit in full swing, Elegant will be expected among the other PGR members to headline the event and be one of the names featured in the top spots along the way. Catch Elegant in SoCal this summer, along with his doubles partner and fellow Beefy Smash Dudes member Aardvark as they progress the doubles meta with their mix of Luigi and Villager and doubles events featured in the 2GGC. Many gawk in awe as the grace of SamSora makes himself known at none other than 24th. This Louisiana Peach main has now risen twice to the top of the charts as a 2-time PGR member. What may come as a shock to many is the fact that SamSora remains unaffiliated to this day, awaiting the perfect chance to join the ideal team. With an initial dip of 49th at Genesis 4, SamSora has done nothing but improve as he slayed the competition with 5th at CEO Dreamland, 9th at Nairo Saga, and 17th at Civil War to name a few peaks. For SamSora, much of his manipulation of Peach's toolkit centers on his expert handling of the character with inputs coming together to annihilate opponents with percentages as high as 60, resulting off of one grab. Rising 5 spots from the last season, SamSora stays ahead of the notoriety with an X factor of -3 that seeks to underrate him. With each fatal blow from Princess Toadstool herself, SamSora managed to rack up 12 sets against the PGR, putting him nearly even with his 14 losses. It is worth noting that less than half of the PGR is even with itself in set count. The travel-bound Louisiana Peachman will be adding plenty more to his Summer of Smash itinerary as he gears up to tour the country and sees more prizes for himself and the attention of top-tier teams. Renowned Japanese TO and possessing the skill to adapt to the meta of Smash 4, QB joins us at 23rd. Debuting on the first PGR and absent last season while he trained his now lethal Bayonetta, many remember QB for his initial dabbling of Ryu. QB has laid destruction on several brackets in Japan. He has peaked notably with 2nd at SGC 2017 and Sumo Battle 15, 4th at Umebura Japan Major, 3rd at Umebura Tokaigi Qualifier, and 7th at Tokaigi 2017. Out in the Western world, QB nabbed 13th at both Civil War and Genesis 4. QB combines the creative stylings of someone with infinite game knowledge with the unforgiving death traps of Bayonetta. He has created combos that cannot be escaped as he uses Bayonetta to carry you off of the stage straight into the blast zone at early percents. Being positive against the PGR sporting a set count of 18 to 15 bodes well for this Kansai native as he returns to the rankings once more. Keeping sets over Ranai, Tsu, Hikaru, Earth, and Fallen is one of QB's many accomplishments as a rising star in Smash. Voted an X factor of -5, QB will be quick to silence dissenters with results held by only the most prestigious of competitors. When he's not organizing tournaments, expect QB to be in the top spots of the brackets thrown his way this next season. Canada's Mason Locus Charlton's sophomore season on the PGR has been one of success, and his rise to the number 22 spot shows that. Known for his signature Ryu and positive personality, this Canadian Titan translated the momentum he gained from his 9th place finish at Zero Saga last year into success this season. Locus in tandem with Ryu is persistent, pressure heavy, and willing to take calculated risks to defeat an opponent. What sets him apart from the competition, however, is his unrelenting work ethic. In a metagame where players have learned to optimize their spacing, Ryu's Bane as a close-range fighter, he has dedicated much of his time towards finding new ways to improve himself as much as possible. This persistence is reflected in his results and wins. While he began the year with a mid-length 25th place finish at Genesis 4, he more than made up for it with top 8 finishes at Civil War, DreamHack Austin, and Greninja Saga. It was at these tournaments that he developed his vast portfolio of wins this season, which include the likes of Allies, Shuton, and Nairo. Though he failed to break into the top echelon at other S-tier events, namely CO 2017 and Nairo Saga, his consistency throughout the year by never placing below 33rd slightly makes up for it. Come the slew of international events this summer, Locus will have even more chances to prove himself on the big stage, and more opportunities for the world to witness the rarity that is a top-level Ryu. Overworld of the Smash Twitterverse and multi-character specialist Anti leaves his mark for a consecutive 3rd time on the Panda Global Rankings, this time at 21st. Whether it's Mario, Cloud, Zero Suit Samus, or even Charizard, Immortal Zone Anti takes his pick to match any competitive environment he's thrown into. Being a previous 2-time top 10 PGR member, Anti is familiar with the pressures of the arena, as well as the competitors found within its deepest trenches. Anti's peaks this season include 4th at Greninja Saga, 9th at Genesis 4, 13th at CEO Dreamland, and 25th at both Civil War and CEO 2017. Despite setbacks this season, Anti has proven more that he has the makings of a true champion, with sets over Zero, Mr.e, Salem, and Void, individuals often cited as the best in the world. Whether it's his entrances getting all the impressions or his unique bait and switch styled Mario, Anti will remain at the top of Smash headlines for the foreseeable future. Follow Anti travel the world this summer as he seeks to make it back into the top 10 and reclaim his title as one of the elite of the PGR. Thank you for tuning in and allowing me to bring you the PGR part by part. This has been D1 as your host, and as always, stay tuned to the PGstats on Twitter at the PGstats to watch the rankings unfold. I'll see you in the future for 20 to 11.